Teachers, it's Mrs. Klein, and we're going to have week 5 of our math for today, and we're going to start with day 1, multiplication. We have properties of multiplication we're going to learn about today. So day 1, our objective today is I can apply the distributive property of multiplication. Very big word, just means to distribute, to kind of give a little here and a little there. Our first essential question is, what are the properties? The second one, what are the properties of multiplication and division? How do you determine which property to use? Number 3, what models help you represent the properties of multiplication and division? And how do these properties apply to both multiplication and division? So, our vocabulary, multiplication. We've heard this word before, but it means the operation of repeated addition. So that's basically what it means, is that we are repeating our addition fact, the same one, over and over and over. And if we learn our multiplication facts, we can do that much quicker. Distributive property is a new word. It's a strategy to break up one factor of multiplication problem to solve it quickly. So we're going to do that today. So here's our direct instruction. We can take the problem 12 times 5 and break it up to make it easier to solve. So I can break up 12 and I can break it up into a 6 and another 6, because I know the 6 plus 6 will still equal 12. So I just changed it a little. Now I can take the split number and multiply each factor by the factor I did not split. So here's the one that I split, and I made them into 2 6s. Here's the 6, here's the other 6. This is the factor I did not split, the 5. And here it is again here. So then you solve each problem. So let's use an array. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I have 5 again, 5 again, 5 again, 5 again, 5 again, and I know that I've done this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's my 6, and there's my 5, and that's this one. Here's the and. I need to do it again. So 6 and 5. So this is what it would look like if I were to make an array to help me solve this problem. So we're going to rewrite it again with more room. So if I counted all of these up, I would have 30, because 5 times 6 equals 30. So what will I have here? You guessed it, I'm going to have another 30. Now we take the answers from each. We have our 30 here, and we have 30 here, and we add them. So we're going to have the same thing. I still have a 12 times 5 because of these 2 6s, and it equals 60, because and means to add. So 30 plus the 30 equals 60. So it's just an easier way to come up with the answer of 5 times 12. Here's another way. We can also use what's called the distributive property to break up these tough equations. Ooh, 43 times 2 is a pretty big equation. So I can look at this in many different ways. I can go, I've got 40. I've got a 40 in here. That's going to make it easier to multiply. Plus I've got this 30, so I've taken my 43 and I've broken it up into a 40 plus 3. It still equals 43 though. First you break up the bigger number by the place value. Then you distribute the times 2 to each part of that equation, the addition equation. So this is what this means. I put it in parentheses because I'm going to take this multiplication of 2 and I'm going to multiply the 3 times 2 and I'm going to multiply the 40 times 2. So we have 40 times 2 plus 3 times 2. So we just rewrote it again is all we did, so that way I know what I'm doing and I don't lose any of my steps. So you solve each part and then you add it. So 40 times 2 equals 80, and remember this just means I have two 40s, plus 2 times 3, this means I have 2 3s, which equals 6. I'm bringing my plus sign down. So I have 43 times 2 is going to equal 86. 43 times 2 would equal 86 because my 80 plus 6 equals 86. Nice way to do that. So let's solve 14 times 3 using the distributive property. I'm going to break my bigger number up by place value. I'm going to distribute the other factor and then multiply. And then I'm going to solve each part. And then I'm going to add my answers. So here's where I'm going to be putting my work. So 14 times 3. Break the bigger number up. So I've got 10 plus 4. That's still 14. Now I'm going to distribute those. 10 times this 3 over here. 4 times my 3 over here, and I'm going to put my plus sign. Then I'm going to solve each part. 3 times 10 equals 30. 4 times 3 equals 12. Bring that plus sign down. So 30 plus 12 equals 42. So 14 times 3 equals 42. Now I want you to notice on here that I've got the times 3 and the times 3 in red, which is this second part right here. Okay, we have 8 times 6 using the distributive property. I'm going to break the number up by place value, distribute the other factor and multiply, and then solve each part. Then we'll add our answer. 8 times 6. We're going to break the 8 to 4 plus 4 times 6. Here's that part right here. I'm going to do the 4 times 6 plus, and I'm going to bring my other 4 times 6 equals 24. 4 times 6 equals 24. 4 times 6 equals 24. Bring down our plus sign. And that equals 48. Remember, if you don't know your 4 times 6, you can make an array to help you with that, or you can do repeat addition. So here's some independent practice. First, we're going to break the bigger number up by place value, and then we're going to distribute the factor, multiply and solve each part, and then add our answers. These are the steps. So if you want to write this down for whenever you get ready to do this on your own, you may do that. Okay? So this is something that I've learned. 46, I'm going to break that up into 40 plus 6. There are different ways I could do that, but I know that 40 is an easier number to work with, and that still is going to equal my 46. So I broke my number up by place value, and I'm still going to have this times 7. So something for me to go. When I see distributive property, I always think of this and this. That, I know that's what that's going to mean, and I take this last part right here, and I'm going to put that in here. Times 7 on both sides. That just helps me out right away. Then I take this first one, and I put it here. Take the second one, and I put it here. Voila, I've got that part done. So now I've done my distribute, the other factor. Now I'm going to do my multiplying, and then I'm going to solve for each part. So here we go. We have 40 times 7, which equals a big number. Then I'm going to bring down that plus sign after I get done. 6 times 7 is 42. I'm going to bring down my plus sign. And I'm going to add those up. 280 plus 42. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 3. 322 would be my answer for this one. So 46 times 7 is a huge number. And then all I have to do is just bring everything and work it through as I'm following my steps, breaking it apart. Okay, let me erase this. That was a big one. 79 times 3. Wow. So I'm going to break my 79 up, and I can do 70 plus 9, and I still have this part. I'm going to put my parentheses there, times 3. So remember, I'm going to do 2 sets of parentheses. I'm going to put a plus sign in the middle of them. I'm going to take this times 3 and put it on both sides, on the left part of it, or the right part of it, times 3. Okay, then I'm going to take this first one, 70, put it in here. Take this 9 and put it in here. Okay, we haven't learned this yet, it's going to be later on, but if you have 3 times 7, I know it's 21, I'm adding a 0. It's just something you guys will probably learn next year, not so much this year. But I could do arrays, it would take me a while. 9 times 3 is 27, and I'm going to add those up together to get my answer. I'll do that over here. 7 plus 0 is still 0, or multiplying. 7. 2 plus 1 is 3, and I bring down my 2, so I get 237. Big way. So this is a big problem. 79 times 3 is going to equal 237, but if we break it down, it makes it a little more doable. Okay, I think we have one more to do here together. All right, boys and girls, here's the next one. What do you think of I could break this by? I hope you're thinking that I can do 20 plus 3, put that in parentheses, and then I can do times 8 on the outside. Okay, we're going to make our 2 sets of parentheses with our plus sign in the middle. We have times 8, that's going to go on the right side of each of these parentheses. And then we have our 20, I'm going to put it in here, the 30, or the 3 in here. Making extra numbers. Okay. So if I did an array, this is the answer I'd get here. 3 times 8, get my answer here. I'm going to add those 2 together once I've done that. Okay, I get 4. 6 plus 2 is 8. I bring down my 1. 184 is the answer for this one. Okay, so 23 times 8 is 184. Just another way for us to be able to find the answer. Okay, so our closure. Which of the following is an example of using the distributive property to solve 45 times 6? Would this be it? This one? Or this one? Okay. So explain why you chose your answer. Think about how you would take 45 and you would break 45 up by using place value and where you would put that. So hopefully you're already thinking, well, I would take my 45 and make it 40 plus 5. Do you see one of those somewhere? And then I would have my times 6. Then I would break that up even more. Do my 2 sets of parentheses. Put times 6 on each right side. Hopefully you're finding it. I'd put the 40 in here, this 5 in here. Do you see your problem anywhere in here? You're right, it's this one right here. So hopefully you were able to figure that one out on your own. All right, so I will see you for day 2.